I used to talk to myself nonstop. Not out loud, just inside. A quiet conversation that slowly snowballed into a storm. I would go over the day's events, reliving words I shouldn't have said. Little moments, little gestures, floating in my mind like leaves on water. At first, it felt harmless. Little reminders, little thoughts, drifting across the edge of my mind. Sometimes comforting, sometimes unnoticed. Sometimes I would laugh at my own jokes, silently, feeling a strange companionship. But slowly, the voice became harder to ignore. It lingered longer, followed me everywhere, whispering, murmuring, endlessly. Even the mundane became loud. Footsteps in the hallway, the hum of the refrigerator, they all carried judgment. I remember lying on my bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking, wondering, spiraling. Is this normal, or is it just me? And the voice kept going, always there. At first, it was a whisper, gentle background noise, soft enough that I could pretend it wasn't real. I would watch the rain slide down the window, counting droplets, matching them to my racing thoughts. But then, stress turned it into a shout. Suddenly, my mind felt like a crowded room. Voices overlapping, clashing, none of them kind. Each thought, a hammer, banging relentlessly. Everywhere I went, the noise followed. At work, at home, even in the quiet, it spoke. I tried to focus on small tasks, making tea, checking the mail, but nothing could drown it out. It said things like, "You're too slow. You're wasting time. You're not enough." Sometimes I'd try to argue with it, whispering back, but the sound of my own voice felt small and weak. And the worst part was, I started believing it. I would sit by the window, watching people go by, wondering why they seemed so certain while I stumbled through uncertainty. I would pause, breathe, try to push it away. But it kept coming back, louder, closer, sharper. I tried pacing the room, stretching my arms, grounding myself, but nothing worked. It wasn't one big event, just a tiny moment, small enough that anyone else would have missed it. Like a single drop causing ripples in a calm pond, each one multiplying. I remember sitting at my desk, trying to work, breathing, thinking, waiting, and my mind whispered, "Enough." Something inside me cracked. I felt tension in my chest, like a rope pulled too tight. My hands trembled, my thoughts spun. I felt small aches, shivers, every muscle tight with fear. And then, silence. Complete. Sudden. Not relief, just emptiness. I sat there, frozen, listening to nothing, wondering if I would ever hear anything again. I remembered my old dog, how he used to nudge me when I was down, how small touches mattered. The silence was heavy, a pause that felt endless. I wasn't calm. I wasn't free. I was terrified. I tried to breathe, but even that felt mechanical. Because the noise was gone, but so was everything else. No color, no warmth, no sound. For days, I drifted. I didn't speak. I didn't react. I wasn't angry. I wasn't sad. I was just here, breathing, drifting. I would stare at the ceiling, imagining stars, tiny pinpricks of light in a gray sky. I'd wake up in the morning and stare at the wall for minutes at a time, not thinking, not feeling, just floating in a kind of gray fog. Food had no taste. Music sounded dull. Even the things I used to love, I couldn't reach them anymore. I would try small joys, doodling, humming, but even that felt hollow. I tried watching a movie, something I normally enjoyed. But halfway through, I realized I hadn't processed a single scene. My eyes were on the screen, but my mind was just blank. Numbness. That's what the silence really was. Not peace, just numbness. I would sometimes close my eyes, imagining the wind, imagining sound, hoping to feel. It felt like I was a ghost watching my own life from behind a wall of glass. I saw people. I heard them, but nothing touched me. I would reach out, pretend to hold hands, even though there was nothing there. I wondered if I would ever feel again. One night, I sat on the floor of my room, lights off, curtains half open, a small breeze moving the air, quiet, soft. And I felt this ache in my chest, not loud, not sharp, just a small, tired ache. It was the first thing I'd felt in days, and that tiny ache made me realize I couldn't stay silent anymore. So I reached out, slowly, quietly. I told someone everything. The whispers, the noise, the silence, and for the first time, someone listened. Someone understood. Someone didn't judge me. They didn't try to fix me. They just sat there, present, patient, letting me breathe. And slowly, my inner voice came back. But it was different. Softer, kinder, gentler. It didn't criticize. It didn't shout. It didn't overwhelm. Now, when I make a mistake, it whispers, "It's okay, try again." When I feel overwhelmed, it says, "Breathe, you're okay." And for the first time, I feel like I have a friend inside my own mind. Not perfect, not healed overnight, but present, and that's enough. Love this channel? Smash the subscribe button